Hi, Ron LeGrand here. Before we get started with the podcast, I thought you might want to know that I recently recorded a 90-minute online training about how we make so much money today in the terms business. That's on pretty houses in pretty neighborhoods, not the junk houses that we have to go rehab or wholesale. I go through step by step on exactly what I and thousands of my students are doing right now to make the fastest and the easiest money in real estate without using your money or credit. If you're interested in doing just that, go to thementorpodcast.com/free training. See you there.
Welcome to the Mentor Podcast, where the most highly motivated entrepreneurs come to get their weekly dose of financial stability with host Ron LeGrand, as well as other nationally recognized thought leaders who will teach you how to get, grow, and protect your wealth.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of thementorpodcast.com. This is part 2 with Pace Mobley and Jamil Damji from Triple Digit Flip. I know you'll enjoy this interview for sure. These guys are a legend. So you're into the buy and hold, and Jamil is into the flipping. Both of you are doing very well. I didn't know you had a franchise, so Jamil. I mean, that's actually a great idea to do. So, do you get a piece of the deals that your franchisees do?
I do. So we run a 15% royalty, and on average, I look at real estate, and there's so many different ways to do it, right? Our average monthly assignment fee, so these are just my corporate stores, is about $1.5 million. Our average royalties is another $600,000-$700,000. So I think about that and I say, okay, well, we're bringing in upwards of $2 million a month in revenue. How many houses do I have to own to do that? And so, that could be hundreds, to get that kind of
just
revenue.
But just a minute here, sir. I'm going to argue the other side of that one.
I love it.
Okay. These houses that you're flipping for $20,000 could easily be lease optioned out to this work for equity tenant buyers as is, and collect probably $10,000 or $15,000 on the same houses, but keep the house and have the rental income coming in, and the appreciation, and the depreciation, and the debt pay down, and all of that, which he's getting and you're not.
You're absolutely true.
I'm not necessarily all of them, but I've done a lot of work for equities, and I'm still on some right now after 10, 12 years, and I could have flipped them. So the point is, you can make almost as much flipping them without renovating them as is. And I don't care what condition they're in. To people who want to do the work with their own hands and their own labor, and frankly, get almost retail price for them.
Right.
In fact, you do get retail price in their current condition for them, and I've done it with condemned houses even to investors. So anyway, just a thought, which I know you've already had. But
when I write my check to the IRS every year, Pace laughs at me because he shows up with a refund.
Oh, no way! You actually get a refund.
He got a refund.
Okay, I want to buy that course.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a lot. It was only $2,200, but I paid zero income tax last year and got $2,200 back.
All right. I want you to tell our listeners, with your massive wealth, how the hell you didn't pay any income taxes. Why is that the case?
Depreciation, holding real estate.
Depreciation.
Yeah.
Depreciation, a beautiful word that most people don't even understand. And you only get it when you own real estate. Period. Not when you're flipping it. Only when you own it. Do you?
Yep. In fact, my main goal now, Ron, I'm sure there was a point in your career. My main goal is not even. Cash flow used to be my main goal because I wanted to get freedom, but now my main goal is depreciation. Every time I buy a house, I'm like, how much depreciation am I getting on this thing? And that's the thing that really gets me excited is not
that
paying
apartment
money.
Apartment complex didn't do you any harm, did it?
Not at all.
Of course,
we'll do a cost segregation in the first 30 days.
Oh God, that's a fortune on that. And for those listening, that means they're going to send somebody out there and they're going to look at every piece of the construction, the air conditioning systems and all of that, and put a number on them. And then we would charge those off over 3-5 years or so, which jumps your depreciation through the roof. I had that done on the building that I'm sitting in here that I own. And boy, it was a big tax write-off. Not very long, but a big tax write-off. And then when you add that to 1031 exchanges, especially how I'm going to teach you this afternoon, you never pay taxes on it. So I love depreciation. And you're right. Tell everybody, get out there and buy as many millions of dollars worth of property as you can without using your money or credit. And frankly, if you don't get anything but the depreciation out of it, you don't have to pay income taxes. The rest will take care of itself. And appreciation, man, we've never seen a time like this, have we? Never seen a time in my 40 years where prices are going up as fast as they're going up right now. So we're in a very weird time, but it's a good time to be in the industry. And I often tell everybody, boy, if you can figure this out now, think of what it's going to be like when this market changes, which will be a field day for us when the market changes back again. But anyway, I want to get to the show. Okay. All right. You guys got the show because you were on social media and they contacted you. Now, I want to know everything you know about this show and give me the down and the dirty now, not the crap they tell you not to disclose.
Oh, right? we like to tell you the down and dirty.
All right. So how much time do you guys spend in filming this show?
A lot more than we thought we would. A lot more than we thought we would. We've grown to really love it, to be honest. In the first season, Ron, Jamil and I both have probably combined, we probably have 15 different businesses and about 1,000 employees between the two of us. And so there's a lot of people that rely on us to communicate on a daily basis, whether it's email, phone calls, face-to-face meetings. And the challenge with the TV show is that they run a union type of style, which means they're only working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, right? And so what that means is that the days that we film, Jamil and I are unavailable to our businesses. So in the first season, it was really challenging, but I can tell you it forced us to delegate better than we've ever delegated in our lives. And now our teams just don't need us for season 2 and season 3. So it turned out to be a blessing, but they monopolize your life. Your life is completely monopolized. And even
I assume
getting travel arrangements and getting permission to go places and do certain things, it's not something we were used to. And so we had to grow accustomed to an incredibly different lifestyle than what we were used to, for sure.
How much time do you put into the show?
So we do 10 episodes every season, and each episode is an entire house. And the average house, we are shooting for $100,000 profit. So these are bigger projects, right? Moving walls, adding additions, doing that kind of stuff. It is amazing because Rahima, Jamil's sister, is our project manager. I've never seen anybody do such a great job ever. Most of the houses come from Jamil's franchises, Keegley, okay, because somebody in the chat said, where are these houses coming from? They come from Jamil's franchise there in Arizona, Keegley. So we have a faucet of houses. So we don't worry about the houses. What you typically worry about in fixing and flipping is always your ability to finish a project on time, especially with supply chain shortages. And so our average house, they only give us 6 weeks to complete a $100,000 renovation. And we have to do that 10 times in basically a 4.5 month process. So there's houses layered on top of each other. We had to change, I shouldn't say Rahima had to change her entire way of project managing to accommodate the TV show. And for anybody that's watching, you actually have a list. You actually have somebody in your chat that used to be on television in the reality TV game. They know Jamil and I make a very small amount of money from the TV show, very small amount of money. If you heard what we made, Ron, you'd go, why are you doing this? But it has opened up a lot of doors for us. More people want to work for us, right? We have higher quality people excited about working for us. We have private money that come to us all the time. Jamil's deal flow has amplified. My deal flow is amplified just because of the TV show. So we are filming typically 50 hours a week, 5 months at a time, not allowed to travel on weekends. And then even when we're not filming, we're having meetings about filming and talking about filming. And then this year, we will film 2 seasons. So that means this year we will film a TV show 10 months out of 12 months. And it's very challenging. It's not what we really planned on, but I think we've really grown to love it. What are your thoughts, Jamil?
I couldn't say it better, bro. It's, the thing is like Pace said, for the money, it's senseless. But for the experience, I get to hang out with my best friend and my sister, and all day, and we're joking around. We're doing what we love, which is working in real estate, and that's fun. It's fun for us to be on those projects. It's fun for us to be involved. But A&E has done something different from your average HGTV show in that they're really letting us teach more and show people more about, there was a question in the chat about, how do you guys find the houses? And they're actually letting us this season show, aspects of that where, we'll buy from the auction, or we'll door knock, or we'll teach about driving for dollars, or, other forms of lead generation techniques. And that's something you don't see in your average home renovation show. And, it's an interesting angle that they're allowing us to pull the curtain back so that people can really see what an operation would look like and what the nuts and bolts of doing a deal like that actually are.
Now, I suspect that a lot of our new customers come from these shows. So I want to know, you guys actually own the houses on your show.
Correct.
And you're actually doing the renovations. Correct. And you're keeping the money and all of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're on the inside track. And is it true that that's not necessarily the case with the other reality shows?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. We've become friends with a lot of other people that are on reality TV. Mm-hmm. Obviously, talking to them and getting advice how to navigate through a new industry that we've never been in. You want to rely on other people. Same thing with me. When I started learning creative finance, I went to Ron LeGrand. In fact, I just sent a screenshot over to my wife and I said, "Hey, I'm on Ron's live." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, Ron, he taught you so much." So we,
by the way, have you ever sent me a testimonial letter?
I've sent you a bunch.
You have?
All the time. And I text Debbie
kidding.
all the time. All the time.
Oh, but that was before you were famous, though, right?
Yeah. So nobody cared. So
yeah, well, you can do it again. There's no law.
I'd be happy to. Debbie, I'll guarantee you some.
I'll guarantee you. I'll display it. I'll make you famous, Pace.
Please, I'll do a big long one. So what we did when we got into TV is we started finding the Ron LeGrands of TV, right? People that have been in the business for a long time could kind of hold our hand and show us what we needed to do. Mm-hmm. And we did find that our format was a lot more challenging in the sense that we actually are finding the houses ourselves. Yeah. We're funding the houses ourselves and running the projects ourselves. And here's the challenge with a TV show. At the end of the day, they're trying to provide a really high quality piece of content for their audience, and they're not really worried about what the profitability is on the house. That's for us to worry about. And so it's challenging. We do more work on a house than we would normally do in order to make it TV ready and make it look good for TV. So there's aspects of the TV show that I would say are not entirely accurate.
All of them. Yeah, all of them.
In the sense that we wouldn't spend that extra $10,000 that we did because it wouldn't be TV worthy. Other than that, I can say our show is incredibly accurate.
Okay, so you do display the right purchase price.
Yep.
The right cost of renovations.
Yep.
Do you disclose all the costs in the middle on the show?
Yeah, so this is the most challenging part. In season 1, we used to break it down by the nitty gritty detail, and the audience, the test audience, was like, we'd have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
And so what we did is we had to shorten that to now it's purchase price minus renovation minus purchasing costs. Right. We just kind of simplified a lot of that, holding costs and closing costs and all that stuff. But
you are disclosing those numbers.
We are disclosing those numbers
to get at your true net profit.
We get to we get to a true gross profit and it's never really net on the show, because what happens is the show moves so fast, okay, that by the time we actually do a real P&L that might be $3,000 or $5,000 or $7,000 off the show's actual number, the show's already aired, right? So, or they're already editing the show. They can't wait for us to sit down and do all of our accounting. So we're really, really close. It's probably between $3,000 to $10,000 off what the actual net number is.
And what is the average profit you're showing on the show?
Those projects, I'd say we're averaging about $75,000 a house. We get some houses that are 120 and some houses that are 60,000. The premise of the show is us as a team are going out and really only trying to do $100,000 profit deals or more, but we strike out sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So you can say then that your reality show is almost all reality.
Correct.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's proudly, I'd say we are one of the only two on all of television that have ever been remotely close to reality.
Yeah. I know the rest of them. Well, you can just tell it's all theatrics. I know you guys got to do some theatrics too to appease A&E because you're right. Your audience is not going to comprehend much stuff when you get into a lot of detail.
No, it's like the Uber driver. The Uber driver didn't know what FHA was, right? It's like, what are we doing trying to overwhelm people?
Yeah.
So one thing that we are very proud of is that when we got approached by A&E a couple of years ago, we actually told them, buzz off. We're not interested. Oh yeah. The first phone call I got was, and Jamil got, we said, if we're not talking directly to the head executive at A&E, we're not interested in a conversation. And we don't want to be a phony baloney because we're really in this business, and we don't want to be one of these shows that makes us a fix and flipper. We want you to make a show about us because we already are successful fix and flippers or successful real estate investors. So the fun thing is now that we've gotten through the first season, they've trained the audience on what ARV is and purchase price and what door knocking is and the basics. We're now jumping into other strategies. Like we're now talking about buying and holding and short-term rentals and those things where it's not just going to be a fix and flip show. There's going to be a little bit about how do we hold properties for tax benefits? How do we hold properties for long-term gain and appreciation? And we're trying to really genuinely teach the audience. So Jamil, I remember when we were on one of our first calls with the executives, Jamil really laid down the vision of we want an audience to truly be educated and get off their couch and go do what we're showing them rather than just consume content and think that this is the easiest business in the world.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Jamil, I heard a rumor that you were once a comedian. Is that correct?
It's true. That's a true story.
So you're still paid for it? Is that the point?
It's funny. I never made it as a comedian, but I do get some laughs on the show. So it's funny how God works in your life. For me, the reason, Ron, how that even came to be, why I ever stepped foot on a stage and took a mic and told jokes. So I rode the first real estate. For me, I've seen the rodeo once, right? I got into real estate in 2002. I rode that wave right up, and I came crashing down in 2008 hard. And it's
you did. Well, I'm shocked to hear that.
And it's the reason why I still had some PTSD on holding property because I was over leveraged and I got caught with my pants down.
Man. I get it. I mean, you and I need to swap 2008 stories sometime.
We will. We'll get a bottle of scotch and drown in it. But
I'll make you feel real good about what happened to you in 2008. Yeah, I got it. So you were personally guaranteeing debt?
Oh, I was personally guaranteeing debt. Not only was I personally guaranteeing debt, I had my mom and dad personally guarantee debt. My sister personally guaranteed debt. And so at the end of all of it, we were all homeless. And
really?
Homeless.
Truly homeless?
Truly home. My mother, my father, my sister, her husband, my niece, myself, my 150-pound dog, and our cat moved into a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. That's what happened.
Get out of here. Oh my God. And here you are today.
Yes.
I mean, a real good example of when you're down, you don't have to stay there. I mean, you are really a great inspiration.
Thank you, brother.
To folks out there. And I know they can pick that up on your show as well. So do you personally guarantee debt today?
No, sir. Now, anytime that I get any leverage, which I do for my fix and flips, I use private money, hard money all the time, but I never personally guarantee anything. And I watch my best friend and cohort here. He, owns hundreds of doors. And again, all non-recourse. He's not personally guaranteeing any of the debt, just like you teach. And I admire it. I think it's incredible. I wish I had known this strategy before. I wouldn't have put myself and my family in that situation where we lost everything. But you live and learn,
Yeah. So for everybody listening, it's not just the old guy trying to keep you out of harm's way. These two guys right here are of the same opinion. And there's a great example of why right there.
Yep.
I mean, I'm 2008 certainly put a dent in my life as well, but here we are. Didn't stop us.
No, sir.
And you two guys are a great example of just keep going. Keep going. In fact, it's a good question. Where are you going? What's your objective here? I know you're doing franchises. You're building something that's sellable for a lot of money, a lot of money. And I'm guessing that is your exit strategy.
It is. Yeah. We've had conversations about an exit, and we've had some offers. They weren't high enough yet. So we're going to continue to grow and expand our franchises and get our monthly royalties up. But I'll take a $250 million exit, I'm sure, in the next 5 years. And then I'm on to other things. I want to travel the world with my brother here. I want to do more with Pace. I want to see more of the world. I want to educate more people. I love this world of coaching. I love being able to share the things that I've learned. I mean, I love building community. I love watching our families grow. I love being the godfather to Pace's 2 daughters. I love being a father to my 2 daughters. I love being a worthy husband.
You just love being alive, don't you, man?
We were driving from Houston to Austin yesterday, and we were having a conversation about the difference between most people that have a job. Their main thing is, what's next for me is quitting my job, right? Quitting my job. I got to quit my job. And for us that have found real estate and really have made a living at it, it's not about quitting anything. It's about improving the journey every single day. And that we're not looking for a destination. We've already made the destination. We're now just trying to improve the journey along the way. The people we do it with is super important, right? I mean, that's why Jamil and I love being around each other. We share a hotel with the millions and millions of dollars we make. Jill and I usually share a hotel room because we enjoy just being around each other like brothers, like bunk beds, like brothers.
That's probably a little too much closeness for me. I can tell you that.
Right. But we travel around. We do a lot together. Our families do everything together. And so for us, I love hearing Jamil say, that made me so proud of him to hear him say $250 million exit. I couldn't be more proud of him. And guess what? I'll never make $1 of that money.
But your exit strategy is different. You're building an empire with real estate,
which is the great thing.
Also easy to sell.
I will enjoy watching him make that $250 million as much as he will actually make that $250 million.
I believe you, Pace. I honestly believe you. Yeah, I do. Especially as close as you guys are. And you never know, he might share some of it with you.
Well, he bought me $1,000 pair of cowboy boots the other day, so he's already sharing.
Oh my God, there you go. Maybe he'll even become a private lender for you, Pace. I mean, if he trusts you, I'm not sure. But the truth is, when he does cash out, he's got to do something with the money. And that's a big problem for people who have the money, which people who don't have it don't understand. What are you going to do with the money? So now you got to hunt for places to put it that makes sense. And of course, real estate minded like you guys probably. In fact, I'm guessing your goal on this apartment complex is probably get it paid off as quick as possible. Am I right there? And just keep it?
That apartment complex, we've got a 5-year plan. We'll roll it into something else. And ultimately, we'll have assets that are all paid off. Right now, I'd say that we're obviously buying everything with leverage, right? And within 10 years, I'll have everything paid off. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, that's the point. All right, so you have a massive...
Even then, that's another conversation by itself. Should I really pay it off, Ron, or should I then just pull out debt and then use that debt to go and buy
that
more?
Is a conversation.
It is a conversation.
Yeah. All right, now I'm sitting here in a free and clear building with the same idea. What the hell am I letting all this equity sit here for? I need to go borrow it at whatever rate. I could care less because I'm sure I can get a whole lot more than what I have to pay a lender. But I just haven't done anything about it. Too lazy.
Well, I don't think it's lazy. I think it also how to go create new opportunity, right? And so just because that equity is sitting there doesn't mean it doesn't have value. The value it has is security that no matter what happens, you have an asset paid off. And then secondly, Ron, you can go out tomorrow, click your fingers and get another deal. So if you want to make money, that's not a problem. Your strategies allow for that. So that's why that is a conversation. Do you really need to leverage the debt? Probably not.
Yeah. I have this conversation with people about their own home sometimes. Do I leverage it and invest the money, or do I have my home free and clear? I always tell them that's one item you want free and clear.
Right.
Especially if you're the female supported by the male. You want that one free and clear. So when he croaks, you can replace him pretty quickly with a free and clear house.
That's all for this edition of the Mentor Podcast. To connect with Ron and learn how you can attain financial freedom, as well as up-to-date strategies to grow and protect your wealth based on today's discussion, go to www.connectwiththementor.com.